So I'm going to run our game here just to double check where we're at. We have got some coins. We can collect these coins by running over them, and we've got a nice little sign, but we've got no visual indicator of how many coins we have. So let's fix that. So over here, I know that in my sprites, in this HUD, which stands for heads up display, I've got a sprite called SPR_HUD_coin, and I want that to appear in my room in the top left hand corner and follow us with the camera as the player moves about, showing how many coins we have. So let's see if Flint AI can help us with that. So I'm going to start a new chat because I'm making this video. I would suggest that you do it all in the same chat if you're working in the same session, because it will learn from each conversation it has with you. So I'm going to paste in what I've got here already. So it says I've got a sprite called HUD coins. I want to use it as a graphic next to the coins that I've collected. Can you do this with some simple code? Let's go and grab our simple code. Copy that over. Shift. And let's run it and see what it can do to help us. Okay, it's impressed with our foundation of our game. So it's thinking about how it can create some code for us. Okay. So it's noticed that it's got the coin collection code kind of commented out. Yeah, so let's go over these steps. So initialize the coin counter. So we know that that happens in the create event. If you are unsure, you could always ask it where to do this, but I'm going to keep this video as short as I can. So I know that I can just copy this code and I can jump up to my create event where I create all these variables. I'm not going to worry where I put it right now. Let's just put it down at the bottom. Okay. So you would notice that this one says global before it and the color is a little bit different. This means that we can access this in different objects and rooms. So this coins variable can be used throughout our game, whereas some of these other things here are only really important to the player object. But we can talk more about global variables another time. Okay, we're going to add a draw GUI event. It tells us how to do it. Where's the code? It's here. So I can copy this and I can jump across here, and it was a new event, draw GUI, and I can paste in my code. Oh yeah, I was messing about earlier and I actually renamed this. Let me put this back. Yours will be SPR HUD coins, but you'll notice how it's greyed out because the names weren't right and it changes to match. That's something you won't have to do. That was just my own little mistake. Okie doke. Let's go back and see what step 3 is. Uncomment out the code line. So here it explains a bunch of stuff as well. I'm not going to read through all of this, you can do it yourself. But the last thing it was asking us to do was to go up here, take away the comment, so that this is now, and let's do a better comment. We can say add 1 to collected coins variable. Okay, I guess we can run it. Cool, so we've got our sprite up here. We've got our number there. It is changing, but it just looks a little bit rubbish right now. So let's go back and have a look. So let's close that off. Let's go back in here when this is where we're actually doing all the drawing. So maybe we don't want our text to be white, so the game didn't really know what our room looks like. It doesn't know what our code looks like. So let's say C underscore, and then it's going to pop up. The reason that I took away all that extra code is the autocomplete won't work if you've got a bunch of stuff after it on the line often. So here I can look at all different kind of colors. I'm just going to go with black, and then I'm going to close my brackets. And I can just say set text color here. Oh, I forgot my comment thingy. There we go. Anything else that I didn't like about it? Let's run it and see first of all. I think the size was not very good, was it? Yeah, so we've got a little bit clearer now. Let's make our size bigger, and you know what, let's actually use a custom font. So I'm going to close this. Back over here, it says right now this is just using the default font. We can actually create a font. So let's go to the fonts, create a font. And I'm just going to go for FNT underscore FNT underscore, I'm going to call it HUD, so I'm going to use it for different kind of HUD elements. And in here you can actually select the font that you want. In a future video I'll look at how we can actually install fonts, but you can basically install fonts onto your Mac computer by downloading them, and then if you restart Game Maker they should appear in this menu. You don't have to load them in any specific way. And I can actually change the size here to get it to match what I want. Let's try 34. And then let's go back, so FNT HUD. Go back to my thingy here. And let's tell it the font that we want it to now use. And you can see it actually pops up showing you what it looks like. So let's try again. Okay, nice. So it is a little bit out of place, maybe it's a bit too big. Let's close it, jump back in. I can edit my font still, so I don't know, maybe 26. Okay, I could maybe, it's not perfectly centered. Let's see what else we can do to make it a little bit better. So I'm going to close this again. We're going to keep on going back in here and tweaking this a little bit. So this is the position, this is the X and Y coordinates where it's going to draw our coin. And right now it's actually drawing it at half size. Maybe we want our coin to be a bit bigger, do we? Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe I want it a bit bigger. So I'm going to go in here and say 0.8. Let's try again. Yeah, nice. So now I can actually probably make my font a bit bigger to match my new bigger coin. Maybe I was right with 34 in the first place. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Okay, we can definitely improve it, but for now, that's fine. So we've used Flint AI to allow us to pick up coins, to play music when we, or play a little sound effect when we pick up the coin, and display our coin counter. Cool.